A&M offensive coach Bud Moore, another former Bryant player, heads up this as the Aggies map their attack. The Alabama boys burn the midnight oil as they go over the A&M thing report, and then find time to relax with lighter stuff before calling it a day. But it's not all work and no play during this gala week. There's companionship and the traditional cotton bowl hat, sugar and spice, etc., etc. Coach Bryant gets a special fitting by Dallas Mayor Eric Johnson. And here's what football players are made of. The boys enjoy a pregame party in their honor. The celebrants include Field Stovall, prominent A&M graduate and one of the Cotton Bowl leaders. After the food, it's time for songs. It's New Year's Eve in Dallas, highlighted by the colorful Cotton Bowl ball. It's an evening of revelry and reminiscing, and Coach Stallings lends an interested ear to former Aggie great Tyree Bell. There's luscious food and lovely ladies. Then, Happy New Year. Flashing feet and happy couples dance their way into a bright new year.
Hi, I'm Dan Marino. Happy 10th anniversary, HSE.
A decade of sports, 10 years of entertainment, HSE. Nolan Ryan's at Vegas, Texas. His Lone Star legacy will be cherished forever. Now, Nolan wants to teach his pitching secrets to you from his hometown field.
You want to get as high and tall on the mound as you possibly can. Wherever your weakest length is, that's how strong you are. You cannot throw the baseball before your land foot hits the ground. You should not be able to tell by the velocity whether it was out of a stretch or out of a windup. Same way with your curveballs and your changeup.
Nolan Ryan's fastball. Instruction for all ages. Eavesdrop on Nolan and 1993 All-Star Randy Johnson.
Where you're down in here. Right. If you take your natural ability and you learn to control your pitches, you will become a better pitcher. We have developed ways to help you do this.
Surely to become a collector's item. Order now and receive Nolan's best-selling autobiography absolutely free while supply lasts. Imagine a personal pitching clinic with Nolan Ryan himself.
Marching into 1968 and the morning of the game, the Texas State Fairgrounds comes alive with the 11th annual Cotton Bowl Festival Parade. And what's a parade without the little guys? Color sets the theme once more. Pretty girls make the day. The Cotton Bowl Queen's Court. And there are the royal princesses from each of the Southwest Conference schools. University of Alabama's $1 million band thrills the throng. The ever-popular Kilgore College Rangerettes add precision and prettiness to the proceedings. There's that girl again. There's even a touch of Disneyland. Aggie hearts swell with pride as the Texas A&M Band, 250 strong, steps smartly down the concourse. And now it's the fans' turn to march. And march they do at Cotton Bowl Stadium as game time draws near. And now the countdown is almost complete. The long-awaited moment arrives as 75,000 spectators swarm into the big bowl to witness one of sportsdom's greatest spectacles. The old maestro sends his lads through their final tune-ups. Coach Stallings surveys meteorological conditions as he sends his troops through their last-minute paces. More pageantry adds sparkle to the afternoon. Referee Red Cavett of the Southeastern Conference flips it. And there you see it. It's heads. Alabama wins it. The toss and the ball. Texas A&M's Bob Long rainbows one to Tommy Wade. And the battle of guided muscles is underway. Wade frolics to the Bama 35 before being chopped down by the Aggies' Curly Hallman. With 75,000 fans screaming, the Alabama players can't hear Stabler's audible, and disaster strikes on the very first play. Rolf Kruger recovers for Texas A&M on the tied 28-yard line. From the Aggie eye, All-Southwest Conference quarterback Ed Hargett makes his first cast of the day, but overshoots Bob Long. On 3rd and 10, here's a coach's view of Hargett's swing pass to fullback Bill Salee, who reaches the Alabama 20-yard line. Fourth down, needing two. Alabama linebacker Bob Childs blocks a pass to send the Aggies' first drive down in flames. From a double slot set, Stabler gets a cool block from David Chatwood, the fullback, and burns one to All-American Dennis Homan for a 30-yard advance to the Aggie 46. Chatwood, the game's leading rusher with 62 yards, bagged 14 of them on this spurt. Here's a face mask foul by an over-anxious Aggie. Stabler was nailed for a deficit, but a 15-yard fine moved the ball down to the Cadet 18. Watch tailback Ed Morgan detect daylight and make a weak side cutback through the gulch for 4 yards. It's Alabama 4th and 2 on the Aggie 10. Somebody goofs. The Aggies get a 5-yard spanking, and Bryant's brigade has a 1st and goal at the 5. Chatwood probes right tackle to the 3. And then here comes the TD. Stabler influences the Aggies inside with a fake to Morgan and strolls into Gloryville. Jeepers creepers, where'd you get those people? Let's dissect that TD in slow motion. Watch the Aggies take the fake, setting up Stabler's easy voyage to the game's first score. Pre-med student Steve Davis toes his 19th straight extra point of the year, and Alabama leads by a score of 7-0.
Catch the excitement of live Southwest Conference football on Special Order Sports. It's a new era for the SWC as the Texas Conference battles top 25 teams from across the country and each other only on Special Order Sports. The Thundering Herd is headed for the hills of Kentucky when the Longhorns' pro-style offense lines up against the Cardinals. Texas battles Louisville live Saturday, September 25th at 1. Call your local cable company and order today.
The latest men's fashion. Thousands and thousands of fine suits starting at an incredible $92.99. At Suit Mart Liquidation Outlet, you always save 50 to 75%. Not last year's styles, not last season's closeout. Suit Mart sells the latest men's suits, slacks, shirts, ties, and sportswear at 50 to 75% off. Why would you shop anywhere else? Be Suit Smart. Shop Suit Mart. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only at Suit Mart Liquidation Outlet, Loop 610 at Alameda.
Alabama dominated first quarter offense. The defense forced Steve O'Neal, one of the nation's leading punters, to kick to Donnie Sutton. And the Tide has it on their 29. Stabler, who connected on 16 of 26 aerials for 179 yards, saw Aggie safety Tommy Maxwell pick off this misguided missile to give the Cadets possession. But A&M was caught on a clipping wrap and penalized to the Alabama 43. And now the Aggies mount a touchdown march. Hargett guns one to Barney Harris. Larry Stegent unveils a neat block. And 28 yards later, two-time All-American Bobby Johns applies the brakes at the Tide 15. Sizzling sophomore Stegent storms up Main Street to the 13. Hargett tries to hit Harris for all the marbles. But safety Dickie Thompson achieves one of his 4 pass breakages of the afternoon. Now let's get set for a touchdown. Our cameraman must have sent in this play. Number 25, Stegent, comes out on a swing pattern. Hargett hits the target, and 193-pound Larry displays his amazing balance and power to reach royal soil. Once more, in slow motion. Stegent, who rushed 18 times, ran back a punt and a kickoff, blocked, tackled, and caught 4 passes during the day, makes the grab here, evades Bobby Johns, and possible embarrassment to make the score 7-6. Charlie Riggs' kick is true, and it's through, and the scoreboard is once more level at 7-7. After the kickoff, Cool Kenny finds Perry Willis on a button hook. Willis pays the price, and Bama has a first down at its 42. Stabler kind of likes that button hook stuff, and this time, sophomore Hunter Husband goes downfield, makes like a kangaroo for a first down in Aggie land. From the Aggie 41, fullback Kenny Martin shakes, rattles, and rolls for 18 big yards. Tommy Maxwell affects the entrapment. Tommy Wade tries his luck, but look, Mom, no cavity. The first quarter curtain falls with Stabler failing to gain from the A&M 19. Score still 7-up. Teeing off from the 26, Steve Davis decorates the Alabama side of the scoreboard to make it tied 10, Texas A&M 7. During the next dozen minutes, each team could muster only one first down. Then on the Alabama 44, things appeared to shape up for the Tide. But not for long. Stabler's pass to Perry Willis is good, but he fumbles the ball. And Aggie Jim Piper retrieves the loose pigskin to actuate an A&M scoring drive from their 44. The Aggies, noted for their big plays, uncorked this 17-yard gain on a 3rd and 10 situation. Bob Long, who caught 8 touchdown passes on the season, fields this one on Alabama's 39-yard line. Here's a Hargett bullseye to Tommy Buckman for a 21-yard gain to the Tide 18, with only 78 seconds left in the first half. Now let's watch Larry Stegent on these 2 pass receptions. Zap. That tackle was felt plumb across Texas, but it didn't deter him. Watch this fantastic fielding job by Stegent. He fights his way to the 7-yard line with 21 seconds to go. And then the Aggies' two-way terror, Tommy Maxwell, breaks free in the end zone for Ed Hargett's 2nd touchdown toss of the game, and A&M seizes the lead. The PAT attempt failed, and the Cadets recuperate with a 13-10 advantage over Alabama. With the combined bands, it was another Cotton Bowl Classic halftime spectacular, an epic of pageantry and musicianship that delighted the holiday gathering. But now let's get back to work. In the 3rd quarter, Stegent swirls for 4 of his 56 rushing yards of the afternoon. Stegent again assaults the Alabama armor for 4. And here's a picture book hook to sophomore Barney Harris, one of only 2 Aggie passes in the second half. From the Alabama 34, here's a demonstration of power by Wendell Housley, who paced the Aggie infantry with 59 yards. Housley had moved it to the 21. Now Hargett runs the option to the 20. And now watch Housley. At least 5 defenders lay hands on him. But the unsinkable Mr. Housley keeps rolling into Royal soil to make it 19-10. Charlie Riggs sets his sights, and bingo, it's Texas A&M 20, Alabama 10.
The thrill, the spirit, the excitement, the pride, the officially licensed team rings from Balfour. Each ring is crafted to the exacting standards of each league, and all are made in America of beautiful Balfour Celestrium for the look and feel of real gold or silver. Handcrafted by the same master jewelers who created league championship rings and trophies for decades. When you call to order, we'll send you a picture of your ring and a sizer to ensure your team ring fits perfectly. So call the number on your screen to order your team ring. There's no payment required now. You'll be billed just $19 prior to the shipment of your ring. Then 4 more monthly payments of only $19 each. Enjoy years of showing your team pride right at hand.
Call 1-800-257-9292, 1-800-257-9292.
Now Alabama comes off the deck fighting. Chatwood explodes to his 37th. From the Crimson Tide 40, Stabler launches one to Big Danny Ford. Good for 19 yards. Here's a carbon copy in slow motion. And it still takes a crowd to get Ford down. Chatwood turns the corner for 8 yards on this effort. Ed Morgan adds 4 to the Tide cause before going down in an Aggie manslide. And from the A&M 29, Stabler's quick slant-in toss to Homan breaks him into the tertiary, but Ross Brubaker sinks him at the 7th. On 2nd down, Stabler, affectionately known as the Snake, springboards for his 2nd touchdown. Here it is once more in slow motion. Trailing 20-16, the Tide tries for 2 points on the conversion attempt, but the Aggie reception committee refused to cooperate. And so the 3rd stanza ends. Aggies 20, Alabama 16. In these next 2 plays, Hargett gives a neat demonstration of how to run the option play. First with a perfectly timed pitch to Stejan for 8 yards. Then he retains it himself for half a dozen more to the Crimson Tide 30. Here's one of the most spectacular plays of the day. Owsley fumbles, Bob Childs grabs it, he loses it, and Alvin Samples finally recovers for Alabama at their 27. Once more, is it football? No, it's soccer. Or tennis, anybody? After a couple of punts, Alabama has it at the 20-yard line. Stabler doesn't see Ivan Jones coming from the other side. Gotcha, says Mr. Jones, and Alabama loses 7 more. On 3rd and 17 from their 13, the Tide shows a spread formation, and Stabler looks for Homan, who makes one of his 6 catches of the day at the 19-yard line. That's Bill Hobbs coming up to make the tackle. Now it's late in the game, and 4th and 11, and this pass nets only a yard. But Alabama gets a stay of execution when the Aggies are penalized for illegal use of hands. This sets the ball at the Tide 44, where Stabler hums one to Willis for 7 steps. At the Aggie 49, the tenacious Aggie defense flushes Stabler from the nest, but he succeeds in finding Homan for a 14-yard gain. The camera isolates on Homan on that last play to show you an All-American in action. From the A&M 35, Stabler goes to the launching pad once more, but this time Homan cannot grip it. As the news tightens, Stabler keeps firing, but Bill Hobbs, selected as lineman of the game, deflects the pass. On 4th down at the 35, Stabler teams up with Hunter Husband again, but the Tide is 4 yards shy at the A&M 29, and the Aggies gain control. With a half-minute left, forced to kick. O'Neal boots it. Homan waits. But here comes that guy Stejan again. From the Alabama 42, Stabler, harassed by Kruger and Lynn Odom, aims for Homan. But Holman, who made the game's opening tackle, intercepts to put the final clincher on Alabama. And time and the Tide have come to an end. And so has the 32nd Cotton Bowl game. A dramatic climax to Texas A&M's Cinderella season. The Aggies are back.
We hope you've enjoyed these classic moments in Cotton Bowl history. The Mobile Cotton Bowl Classic has been brought to you by Home Sports